Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a moment to honor the woman who walks alone. She's not lonely, not lost. She's finding her own path, lighting her way with the power of her own inner fire. She doesn't rely on others to define her, because she's learned that the only validation she truly needs comes from within. The woman who walks alone embodies an inner strength that is both resilient and unbreakable. Her journey has taught her to rely on herself, to draw from her own well of courage and resolve. She understands that true independence is not about isolation, but about the freedom to make her own choices, follow her own path, and trust in her own wisdom. She moves through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that her strength is rooted in her ability to face life's challenges without constantly seeking validation from the outside. This strength doesn't mean she's invulnerable or devoid of fear, but rather that she has learned to honor those moments of vulnerability and use them as stepping stones to grow even stronger. When she looks inward, she finds a source of power that is constantly renewing, always available, and uniquely her own. This wellspring of inner strength allows her to stand tall even when life presents trials that may feel overwhelming to others. She knows that she can be her own guide, that her intuition and inner wisdom are enough to navigate whatever comes her way. This independence is a beautiful thing. It's the ability to be at peace with herself, to stand on her own 2 feet, and to find joy in her own company. She understands that while relationships and connections with others are a cherished part of life, her happiness does not hinge on someone else's approval, company, or acceptance. As she walks through life, she carries with her the lessons that she has earned through hardship and solitude. She has discovered that there is no greater teacher than life itself, and she embraces this journey wholeheartedly, with an open heart and a willing spirit. Every step she takes alone is a testament to her resilience, her courage, and her belief in her own strength. She trusts herself deeply because she has walked this path long enough to know that she is capable of facing anything that life may place in her way. This is what it means to live independently, not to avoid relationships or connection, but to be fulfilled and at peace within oneself first and foremost. Her independence has also granted her the gift of clarity. Without the constant influence of others dictating her choices or shaping her opinions, she has the space and freedom to explore her own thoughts, feelings, and beliefs. She knows who she is and what she stands for, and this knowledge is a precious part of her identity. It is an anchor that grounds her when things get difficult and an internal compass that guides her toward what truly matters to her. Because she is self-assured and grounded, she is able to make decisions that are aligned with her values rather than decisions that seek to please others or gain external approval. This kind of independence requires bravery. It requires a willingness to step out of the shadows, to let go of the need for constant affirmation, and to believe that one's own voice is enough. She walks alone because she trusts her own voice more than any noise around her. She doesn't rely on the world to tell her who she should be. Instead, she chooses to define herself by her own standards. This freedom to be authentically herself is both liberating and powerful, for it allows her to live a life that is true to her heart and her soul. She understands that living independently doesn't mean rejecting the world. It means approaching it with a sense of self that cannot be easily swayed or diminished. Walking alone has also taught her to find beauty and peace in solitude. She has discovered that being alone is not synonymous with being lonely. In her solitude, she finds space for reflection, growth, and creativity. She treasures these moments of quiet where she can connect with her innermost self and explore the depths of her being. This connection with herself is an endless source of comfort and joy, and it allows her to experience life with a deep sense of appreciation and gratitude. She has learned that independence means creating a relationship with herself that is nurturing, loving, and accepting. Through this journey, she has become a beacon of strength, not only for herself, but for others who may look to her as an example of what is possible when one trusts in their own power. She is not deterred by the opinions of others. She does not seek to conform or to fit into molds that do not serve her. Her life is a testament to the fact that true independence is about embracing who you are, flaws and all, and knowing that you are enough just as you are. She embodies the idea that strength is found within, not without, and that this strength is available to anyone willing to turn inward and cultivate it. In the end, her independence is a quiet, steadfast force that allows her to live life on her own terms. It enables her to stand in her truth, to pursue her dreams, and to create a life that feels meaningful and fulfilling. She walks alone, not because she has to, but because she chooses to. She chooses to rely on herself, to honor her journey, and to trust in her own resilience. And as she continues along her path, she knows that she is enough, that her inner strength will always guide her, uplift her, and remind her of the power that lies within. Self-discovery is a journey that requires immense courage. It's not simply a matter of learning about one's preferences or opinions. It's a deep dive into the heart and soul, exploring parts of oneself that may have been long hidden or ignored. This process of self-discovery is the work of peeling back layers of conditioning, expectation, and past experiences to reveal the true self underneath. It's about asking questions that go beyond the surface. Who am I at my core? What do I truly value? What fears are holding me back, and why? These questions can feel daunting, as they often uncover emotions and truths we may not be fully ready to face, but it's only by facing them that real transformation begins. The path of self-discovery is a courageous one, because it often leads us to confront our own shadows, the parts of ourselves that we may have denied or judged. These could be fears, insecurities, old wounds, or beliefs that no longer serve us. It takes courage to look at these aspects head-on without turning away. For many, this journey can feel uncomfortable or even painful at times, as it brings up memories and emotions we've perhaps suppressed. But through this process, we gain a deeper understanding of who we are, and more importantly, we learn to embrace every part of ourselves, including those parts we may have been reluctant to accept. Courage in self-discovery means letting go of external validations and learning to trust oneself. Often we have been taught to look outside ourselves for approval, for answers, or for a sense of worth. Society, family, friends, and culture often influence who we think we should be, how we should act, and what we should want. However, self-discovery requires peeling back these external expectations and choosing to rely on one's own inner guidance. It's about daring to believe that our instincts and intuition are enough. This act of trusting oneself in the face of doubt and uncertainty is an act of bravery. It means standing firm in one's truth, even if it doesn't align with what others might expect or approve of. As we delve deeper into self-discovery, courage is required to embrace authenticity. Many of us wear masks or adopt roles that we believe will make us more acceptable or lovable to others. However, true self-discovery demands that we remove these masks and reveal who we truly are, even if it means risking rejection or disapproval. Authenticity can be terrifying. Because it involves vulnerability, it means showing up as we are without pretending to be something we're not. It means sharing our truth, our passions, and our unique perspective, even when it feels easier to stay quiet or fit in. Yet, in this courageous choice to be authentic, we find freedom. By being true to ourselves, we attract people, opportunities, and experiences that align with who we genuinely are, rather than who we think we should be. The journey of self-discovery is ongoing. It's not something that is completed in a single moment or even a few months. Rather, it's a lifelong commitment to growing, learning, and evolving. Each new experience, each interaction, and each challenge presents an opportunity to understand ourselves more deeply. And each time we choose to lean into self-discovery, we are making a courageous choice. We are choosing to show up for ourselves, to value our inner world, and to prioritize our relationship with ourselves. This journey may take us through highs and lows, but with every step we uncover more layers of our potential, our purpose, and our capacity for joy and fulfillment. Self-discovery requires courage because it is not a linear path. At times we may feel lost or unsure, wondering if we're moving in the right direction. But through self-discovery, we learn that not knowing is okay, that being open to exploration and uncertainty is part of the journey. Courage means accepting the unknown and realizing that growth often happens in the spaces where we feel uncomfortable or unsure. It's in these moments of uncertainty that we stretch beyond our comfort zones, expanding our understanding of who we are and what we're capable of. We learn to be comfortable with the process itself, knowing that each moment of doubt or questioning is simply a part of the greater unfolding of our truth. Another aspect of courage in self-discovery is facing our dreams and aspirations, even if they scare us. Many people are afraid to explore what they truly desire because they fear disappointment or failure. They worry that pursuing a dream might lead to rejection or loss. However, self-discovery urges us to ask ourselves what we genuinely want from life and to have the courage to pursue it, even if it means taking risks. It's about believing in our dreams, honoring them, and giving ourselves permission to move toward them without letting fear hold us back. Through this pursuit, we not only grow in courage, but also in confidence as we realize our own strength and resilience. Ultimately, self-discovery is a journey of learning to love oneself fully with all the quirks, imperfections, strengths, and weaknesses. It's about understanding that we are whole, just as we are, and that our true worth lies not in perfection, but in our willingness to show up for ourselves every day. This journey, while challenging, is also incredibly rewarding. It's a path that leads to inner peace, self-acceptance, and a deeper connection to our purpose. The courage to embark on this journey is what empowers us to live more fully, love more deeply, and embrace life with open arms and an open heart. Through self-discovery, we become the truest version of ourselves, grounded in the knowledge that we are enough just as we are, and that our unique path is worth every brave step we take. Healing and resilience go hand in hand, forming a powerful partnership that enables individuals to transform pain into strength. Healing is not merely the act of moving past pain or forgetting hardship. It is an intentional journey of processing and releasing emotions, finding meaning in difficult experiences, and allowing oneself the grace to feel, understand, and let go. Resilience, in turn, is the capacity to rise above adversity, to remain standing in the face of challenges, and to continue moving forward even when the path is unclear. Together, healing and resilience empower us to not only survive life's hardships, but to thrive because of them, becoming stronger, wiser, and more compassionate along the way. The journey of healing begins with acknowledging pain, which is often the hardest step. Many of us are conditioned to believe that we should push through difficult emotions or ignore them entirely. But true healing requires that we give ourselves permission to feel fully. It requires the courage to face our wounds, to confront our fears, and to allow ourselves the space to grieve, to be vulnerable, and to process the emotions that arise. In doing so, we create a foundation for genuine healing, as we begin to understand that our pain does not define us, but instead can guide us toward greater self-awareness. In the process of healing, resilience becomes an essential quality. Resilience allows us to continue the healing journey even when it feels too painful or overwhelming. It reminds us that we have the inner strength to withstand life's storms, that we have endured difficult times before, and that we can emerge from them with newfound insight and strength. Resilience is not about avoiding struggle or pain. It is about facing it with courage and knowing that we have the power to move through it. Each time we choose to confront our pain and work through it, we are building resilience, preparing ourselves to face future challenges with even greater strength. Healing also involves forgiveness, both of others and of ourselves. Often we carry unresolved hurts, regrets, or grudges that weigh us down, preventing us from moving forward. Forgiveness is a powerful act of healing, allowing us to release the hold that past events or people may have on our lives. It does not mean that we condone hurtful actions or forget what happened, but rather that we choose to free ourselves from the burden of anger and resentment. This act of letting go is a testament to resilience, as it requires us to rise above past injuries and choose peace over pain. By forgiving, we reclaim our power and create space within ourselves for love, joy, and healing to flourish. Healing and resilience also bring about transformation. As we heal, we begin to see ourselves differently, recognizing the strength and beauty that lies within. We understand that each scar tells a story of survival, and that each hardship has shaped us in meaningful ways. This transformation is a testament to the resilience we've cultivated, as we recognize that we are no longer defined by our pain, but by the strength we gain from it. We begin to shift our perspective, viewing challenges as opportunities for growth rather than as obstacles. This outlook not only empowers us to face future struggles with confidence, but also deepens our sense of empathy, allowing us to connect with others on a more profound level. Throughout the healing journey, resilience reminds us that setbacks are not failures, but merely parts of the process. Healing is rarely linear. It involves ups and downs, moments of progress and moments of difficulty. There will be times when old wounds resurface or when we feel as though we are back at square one, but resilience helps us to keep going. It teaches us to be patient with ourselves, to trust that healing takes time, and to remember that every small step forward is meaningful. Resilience reminds us that we are capable of moving through pain, and that every effort we make toward healing, no matter how small, brings us closer to peace and fulfillment. As we heal, we learn to become gentler with ourselves, practicing self-compassion and acceptance. Healing allows us to recognize that we are human, that we are allowed to make mistakes, and that we are deserving of love and forgiveness. This compassion for ourselves builds resilience, as it provides us with the foundation to keep moving forward without judgment or harsh self-criticism. We come to understand that our journey is unique and that we are worthy of healing no matter how long it may take. In this way, resilience becomes the quiet, steady force that helps us honor our own path and trust that we are exactly where we need to be. Ultimately, healing and resilience lead to empowerment. As we heal, we regain a sense of control over our lives, reclaiming parts of ourselves that may have been lost or hidden away during times of pain. Resilience empowers us to embrace the fullness of life, including its challenges, with a renewed sense of purpose and strength. We come to see ourselves as whole, not despite our wounds, but because of them. This newfound strength allows us to approach life with a sense of gratitude, for we understand that every experience has brought us closer to our true selves. Healing and resilience together enable us to live a life of authenticity and meaning. We learn to trust ourselves, to value our experiences, and to approach each new challenge with the confidence that we can handle it. This journey may not always be easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. Through healing, we find peace. Through resilience, we find courage. And as we continue along this path, we discover that we are not only capable of overcoming life's hardships, but also of transforming them into sources of wisdom, strength, and joy. This journey is a testament to the incredible power within each of us, the power to heal, to rise, and to live fully and fearlessly no matter what life may bring. Self-love and compassion are the foundation of a fulfilling, peaceful, and authentic life. Embracing self-love means learning to accept oneself fully, with all of one's imperfections, and treating oneself with the same kindness and understanding that one would offer a dear friend. This journey begins by recognizing that each of us is worthy of love, simply because we exist. Self-love is not about vanity or ego. It is about honoring who we are at our core, nurturing our spirit, and valuing our own unique journey. To cultivate self-love, we must first confront the tendency to judge ourselves harshly. Many of us have an inner critic that constantly finds fault, compares us to others, or makes us feel unworthy. Overcoming this critic requires a conscious decision to quiet these negative voices and replace them with compassion. This shift may not happen overnight, as it involves unraveling years of ingrained habits and beliefs about ourselves, but with time and effort it becomes possible. By practicing self-compassion, we create a nurturing inner environment where we are free to grow, learn, and make mistakes without fear of self-condemnation. Self-love involves setting boundaries that honor our needs and protect our well-being. Many of us are taught to prioritize the needs of others, often to the detriment of our own happiness and health. However, genuine self-love means recognizing that we deserve the same care and respect that we give to those around us. Setting boundaries is not about being selfish, rather, it is a way of respecting ourselves and ensuring that we have the time and energy to fulfill our own needs. This act of self-respect allows us to show up more fully and genuinely for others, as we are no longer sacrificing our own well-being in the process. Compassion toward oneself is essential when facing mistakes, failures, or setbacks. Life is filled with challenges, and inevitably there will be times when we fall short of our expectations or experience pain and disappointment. In these moments, self-compassion becomes our greatest ally. Rather than chastising ourselves for what went wrong, we can choose to extend understanding and kindness toward ourselves. This attitude allows us to process our experiences without becoming overwhelmed by guilt or shame. Instead, we view each setback as a learning opportunity, a chance to grow and strengthen our resilience. By approaching ourselves with compassion during difficult times, we build a relationship of trust and respect within ourselves, knowing that we will be there to support ourselves no matter what. Self-love also involves accepting ourselves as we are in the present moment. Many of us hold off on loving ourselves until we have achieved a certain goal, reached an ideal weight, or perfected a skill. However, true self-love is unconditional. It means embracing every part of ourselves, including our flaws and areas for growth. This acceptance does not mean that we give up on improvement or personal growth. Rather, it means that we love ourselves in the present while working toward our goals. By accepting ourselves as we are, we free ourselves from the constant pressure to be perfect and allow ourselves the grace to be human. Cultivating self-love and compassion enables us to develop healthier relationships with others. When we love and accept ourselves, we are less likely to seek validation or approval from external sources. Instead, we approach relationships from a place of wholeness where we are free to give and receive love without fear of rejection or inadequacy. Self-love allows us to bring our true selves into our relationships, fostering connections that are based on authenticity and mutual respect. By loving ourselves first, we create the foundation for loving others in a healthy and balanced way, without the need to overextend or lose ourselves in the process. Practicing self-compassion also involves caring for our physical and emotional needs. Self-love includes taking time to rest, nourishing our bodies with healthy foods, and engaging in activities that bring us joy and fulfillment. It also means taking care of our mental and emotional health by addressing any stress, anxiety, or unresolved emotions we may be carrying. Self-love is about giving ourselves permission to prioritize our well-being and make choices that support our overall happiness and balance. It's about understanding that we cannot pour from an empty cup. To be truly present for others, we must first be present for ourselves. Self-love is an ongoing journey, one that requires commitment and patience. There will be days when it feels easier to practice and others when it may be a struggle. The key is to approach this journey with compassion, acknowledging that growth takes time and that there is no finish line when it comes to loving oneself. Each day presents an opportunity to reaffirm our commitment to self-love, whether through kind thoughts, self-care routines, or simply allowing ourselves the space to feel whatever emotions arise. By consistently showing up for ourselves, we build a relationship of love and trust that becomes the foundation of our inner peace and joy. Ultimately, self-love and compassion transform the way we experience life. When we truly love ourselves, we become more resilient, more open to joy, and more connected to our purpose. We begin to see ourselves as worthy of happiness, peace, and fulfillment, and we approach each day with a sense of gratitude and empowerment. Self-love enables us to step into our lives with confidence, knowing that we are enough just as we are, and that our worth is not tied to external achievements or others' opinions. It gives us the freedom to be ourselves, to pursue our dreams, and to live fully and authentically. By embracing self-love and compassion, we create a life that honors our deepest needs and desires. We learn to treat ourselves with the kindness and respect we deserve, nurturing a sense of inner peace that sustains us through life's ups and downs. This journey is not always easy, but it is profoundly rewarding. In choosing to love ourselves, we unlock the strength, courage, and resilience needed to face any challenge, knowing that we are our own greatest ally. Through self-love and compassion, we become our best selves, living a life that is rich with meaning, joy, and a deep sense of belonging. Trusting her own path is a journey that a woman undertakes with courage, faith, and an unwavering belief in herself. In a world that often pushes individuals to conform, trusting one's path requires a bold willingness to listen to her inner voice and honor the wisdom within. It is an act of self-empowerment, where she recognizes that her journey is unique and no one else can walk it for her. This trust is not something that comes overnight, but is cultivated through experiences, challenges, and a commitment to growth. When a woman truly trusts her own path, she stands in her power, grounded in her authenticity and guided by her intuition. The journey of self-trust begins with recognizing that her path does not need to look like anyone else's. Society often promotes certain standards of success, happiness, or fulfillment, creating a sense of pressure to follow predefined routes. However, trusting her own path means understanding that fulfillment comes not from others' expectations, but from her own sense of purpose and joy. She learns to silence the noise of outside opinions, choosing instead to listen to her heart and follow what feels right for her, even if it defies convention. This trust in herself allows her to move through life with a quiet confidence, knowing that her unique path is valuable and worthy, no matter how different it may seem from others. Trusting her own path requires her to embrace vulnerability and be comfortable with uncertainty. Life is inherently unpredictable, and there will always be moments of doubt, fear, or insecurity. But when a woman trusts her path, she accepts that uncertainty is a natural part of the journey. Rather than letting fear dictate her choices, she uses it as a stepping stone toward growth. She understands that the unknown holds endless possibilities, and by taking each step with courage, she opens herself up to new opportunities, experiences, and lessons. This openness to the unknown fosters resilience, allowing her to move forward even in the face of adversity. This journey is also about building a deep connection with her intuition. Her intuition is her inner guide, a voice that knows what is right for her, even when logic or reason may not agree. Learning to trust this voice takes time, as many people are taught to prioritize rational thinking over their gut feelings. But intuition is a powerful tool that can help her navigate life's complexities. By learning to listen to her inner wisdom, she develops a sense of trust in her own decision-making. She becomes attuned to what feels aligned with her true self and can make choices from a place of authenticity rather than external pressure. This trust in her intuition becomes a compass, guiding her through the twists and turns of life with a sense of clarity and purpose. On this path, she learns to view setbacks not as failures but as essential lessons. Challenges and obstacles are part of every journey, but a woman who trusts her path sees them as opportunities for growth. Rather than being discouraged by hardship, she understands that each challenge holds a valuable lesson that can strengthen her. She uses these experiences to refine her path, learning more about herself, her values, and her dreams. This resilience transforms her setbacks into stepping stones, empowering her to continue forward with greater wisdom and confidence. Trusting her path means embracing the entirety of her journey, including the difficulties, with the knowledge that each experience contributes to her personal growth. The path to self-trust also includes honoring her boundaries. She understands that her energy is precious and that protecting her well-being is essential for staying true to her path. By setting boundaries, she preserves her energy for what truly matters, allowing her to focus on her goals, dreams, and passions. Boundaries are not about shutting others out. Rather, they are a way of maintaining a balance that honors her needs and desires. In choosing to protect her energy, she builds a life that reflects her values, creating a space where she can thrive and grow authentically. This commitment to self-care reinforces her trust in herself as she demonstrates her own worthiness and respect. Another important aspect of trusting her path is embracing patience. Growth does not happen overnight, and the journey toward her dreams may take time. She learns that patience is a form of trust, a way of honoring the timing of her life without feeling the need to rush. When she trusts her path, she is able to let go of the need for immediate results or constant validation. She understands that everything unfolds in its own time, and that her journey will lead her to the right place, even if it takes longer than she anticipated. This patience allows her to savor each step, to be present in her journey, and to appreciate the progress she makes along the way. Trusting her own path also means celebrating her achievements, no matter how small. Each step forward, each goal accomplished, and each lesson learned is a testament to her commitment to herself. By celebrating her progress, she acknowledges the work she has put into her growth and the strength she has developed along the way. This celebration is an act of self-love, a way of honoring her journey and reinforcing her belief in her ability to create the life she desires. These moments of joy and pride build a foundation of confidence, reminding her that she is capable of achieving anything she sets her mind to. In trusting her path, she ultimately finds freedom. She is no longer bound by the expectations of others, nor is she swayed by fear or doubt. Instead, she walks her path with a sense of purpose, knowing that she is exactly where she is meant to be. This trust gives her the strength to pursue her dreams, to embrace her authenticity, and to live a life that is true to her values and passions. She discovers that her journey is not about reaching a specific destination, but about becoming the person she was always meant to be. In trusting her own path, she finds a deep sense of fulfillment, peace, and joy, knowing that she is fully aligned with her true self. Empowerment through authenticity is about discovering the courage to live true to oneself and embracing the strength that comes from honoring one's own values, beliefs, and passions. Authenticity isn't just about being genuine with others. It's a commitment to deeply understanding oneself and aligning one's life with that inner truth. This journey toward authenticity brings empowerment because as one becomes true to their unique path, they find a sense of purpose, confidence, and peace that can only come from living in harmony with who they truly are. To feel empowered, one must learn to embrace the self fully, even if it means standing apart from the crowd or defying expectations. Living authentically requires a willingness to face oneself honestly. It involves looking within to understand what truly matters, what one believes, values, and feels drawn to pursue. Many people spend years conforming to societal expectations or trying to fit into roles prescribed by others. Authenticity asks us to step away from this need for validation and instead trust our own voice. This internal reflection can be challenging as it requires the courage to question, uncover, and sometimes let go of aspects of life that no longer serve us. But this process also brings clarity. By exploring one's true desires and passions, we begin to see a path that aligns with who we are at the core. This alignment is empowering because it feels purposeful. It feels like coming home. As one embarks on this path of authenticity, they begin to realize that their value doesn't depend on the approval of others. True empowerment comes when a person no longer feels the need to seek validation from external sources, choosing instead to find validation within themselves. While it's natural to desire acceptance, relying solely on external validation can lead to a loss of self-identity. Living authentically means allowing oneself to be comfortable in their own skin, finding confidence in their own worth, and trusting their ability to make choices that reflect their true nature. This self-acceptance is powerful as it provides a sense of inner security that cannot be shaken by others' opinions. Authenticity also brings a profound sense of freedom. When someone lives aligned with their truth, they are free from the constraints of comparison and competition. Empowerment comes from recognizing that there's no need to emulate others or measure up to arbitrary standards. Instead, an authentic person celebrates their unique qualities and contributions. They no longer feel pressured to mold themselves to fit a particular image or compete with others, but rather they find joy in their own journey. This shift in mindset brings empowerment because it allows one to live without the weight of comparison, finding joy in self-expression and personal growth. Living authentically also strengthens resilience. When a person stands firmly in their truth, they develop the courage to face challenges with confidence. An authentic person doesn't shy away from adversity, but instead sees it as an opportunity to grow and learn. They recognize that difficulties are a natural part of life and trust that they have the inner resources to overcome them. Because they have built a strong foundation of self-belief, they are less likely to be swayed by setbacks or criticism. Their resilience comes from the understanding that they are being true to themselves, and this truth becomes a source of unwavering strength. Empowerment arises when one realizes that no challenge can diminish their sense of self-worth, as they have developed an unbreakable bond with their own identity. Authenticity also fosters deeper, more meaningful connections with others. When a person is true to themselves, They naturally attract relationships that reflect and support their values. People are drawn to those who are genuine because authenticity creates a sense of trust and openness. An authentic person builds connections based on mutual respect and understanding rather than superficial expectations. Empowerment grows as they surround themselves with individuals who celebrate their true self and who inspire and encourage them to continue growing. These connections serve as a source of support and encouragement, making the journey of authenticity even more fulfilling. A commitment to authenticity is also an act of self-respect. By living in alignment with their values and beliefs, a person shows themselves that they are worthy of honoring their own truth. Empowerment comes from respecting oneself enough to prioritize personal happiness and integrity over fleeting approval or temporary success. This self-respect becomes a guiding force, helping them make choices that honor their well-being and purpose. When one respects themselves, they naturally attract respect from others, and their confidence grows from knowing that they are living life on their own terms. They find that instead of constantly chasing acceptance, they are drawing it in naturally by simply being themselves. Choosing authenticity can sometimes be challenging, especially in a world that often encourages conformity. But each step toward authenticity, no matter how small, strengthens a person's sense of self. With each decision to stay true to oneself, they build confidence, courage, and a deeper connection with who they are meant to be. This gradual empowerment becomes a journey, where each step brings a greater sense of freedom and fulfillment. It's a journey that may involve challenges and uncertainty, but it is also deeply rewarding. Ultimately, empowerment through authenticity is about embracing the fullness of who one is, with all of their unique strengths, quirks, and perspectives. It's a journey of self-discovery, where each moment of honesty and courage builds a life that is meaningful, joyful, and true. By trusting in their own path, honoring their own voice, and respecting their own worth, an authentic person finds the peace and fulfillment that comes from living life on their own terms. Empowered by authenticity, they become a beacon of truth, inspiring others to embrace their own journey and live a life that reflects their unique beauty and purpose. Through authenticity, one finds the strength, joy, and freedom that can only come from being truly, unapologetically oneself.